All right, here's a dirty little secret, if you will. You may not like it. Maybe not most, but many RV mistakes are made just before you sign. Usually in a tiny little office where a $99 monthly payment somehow magically becomes $250. In this segment, Kevin FRAZER, one of the most straight shooting voices I know, pulls the curtain on the micro. Yeah, we talk about the add-ons, the fake prices, the extended warranties at very wild rates, and loans that bury families for many, many years. When you're buying an RV, if your gut whispers something is off, believe it, because that's how many folks wind up in what I call RV purgatory. They buy the wrong unit, they got the wrong loan, and there's no way out. Don't be that person. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure you scan the QR code you see on the screen or click the link in the description down below for my free RV resources, including links to RV dealers that I have fully vetted and info that will help you become and stay a happy camper. Let's get into it with Kevin FRAZER from Cheyenne Camping Center.
More or less, unless one of us wins the lottery and we can fund a political action committee to put pressure on the attorney generals. But there's another time you can put pressure on the attorney generals. That's election time. There's an election for a new attorney general in South Carolina, which has some very problematic dealers that are doing some very bad, vicious things. Well, wouldn't that be something that the voters could ask the candidates for attorney general about? Or in fact, in South Carolina, if memory serves, the current attorney general's moving up the chain, wants to be the governor. Now that means his department has been ignoring some exceptionally nasty occurrences at, is it the Camping World in North Charlotte? Am I right about that?
Charleston.
North Charleston. Well, sorry, South Carolina. If the boss, the attorney general, tells his assistant, why don't you take a look at this? Why don't you spend some time protecting the consumer?
Then they'll look into it.
Then they'll look into it. And you've already got Oregon working on this, and there's stuff still happening in Oregon, and there's stuff happening in Georgia. But the people got to say to the AGs, do your phony baloney jobs. You've got this, there's literally an army of ferocious lawyers coming at the innocent who was beguiled and defrauded. It's not the fault of the consumer. When the seller, when the hustler, when the operator becomes so powerful and sophisticated that the consumer doesn't have a chance, that's what we made consumer protection laws for. That's what they get paid to do.
So the only way to fight this is to get the attention of the AG's office. And the only way to do that is to continue to press. It's like I'm doing. I'm pressing with the AG's office, with the ethics board at U.S. Bank, because I believe that some of the loans that they've been making, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I do have, I think, a little bit of common sense. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. You know?
Okay, U.S. Bank has trimmed what they'll use for collateral. Because there was enough sass that it spooked them. But
we have to push back.
Yes.
Cannot just sit there and take it, and don't go pay your own lawyer, personal lawyer. They'll take your money, but you're not going to get anywhere.
They're scared of the same group. These are armies of sophisticated attorneys. These are lawyers that, and then they're going to get you. Oh yeah, we'll give you 10 cents on the dollar, but you got to sign this non-disclosure agreement. Well, you know, complaints to the attorney general are outside the bounds of any non-disclosure agreement. If you signed a non-disclosure agreement, but you think you were coerced into signing that non-disclosure agreement, you can make disclosure to the government.
I have to stop you. I have a question. If we know it, if the consumer knows it, the dealers know it, how do the manufacturers feel about this whole situation, about people being so upside down? Do they care? What about the industry? I know you can't speak for the industry. You're only Cheyenne Camping Center. But this is a problem. It's an endemic problem that has to be recognized, doesn't it?
It is recognized, and it's a fight that I lost 35 years ago. Consumer protection laws became common at federal and state level in the 1970s. It was because of very, very bad experiences in the 50s and 60s in every industry, but with particular focus on the car.
Automotive, yep.
After the World War, there was lots and lots of savings and lots of demand, and not nearly enough automobiles to go around. All those boys and women who served in the war, they got home and all they wanted was a Studebaker, but there were not enough to go around for all that saved money. In those days, without so many sophisticated confidence tricks as are developed today, car dealers ripped people off. That's the nicest way it can be put. They did very, very bad things to the public. People were paying, well, okay, yeah, twice as much as the car was supposed to sell for. Now, what did that mean for, you're asking me, what do the manufacturers in the industry think? What did it mean for the automobile manufacturers and industry? If a Chevrolet dealer took a man from Ohio and fleeced him and left him with, in those days, it wasn't like it is now, but it's relative.
Sure.
Left him with a pile of debt and a piece of junk.
Right.
What happened? Well, that guy is never going to do business with that crooked dealer ever again.
Right.
But he's also never going to do business with General Motors because they did it to him too.
Right.
Now, reputational harm is a big deal. It's talked about all the time, but nobody does much about it. The car guys did. They recognized that they were spending, well, it's billions. You used to have Chevy as a sponsor. Hundreds of billions of dollars building up their brand and their reputation, getting people to trust them.
To have crooks destroying their good name.
In one transaction.
Yes.
And for a lifetime. So they invented franchise agreements. Yep, I'm back up on the soapbox again. Franchise agreements. The car guys brought in franchise agreements in the 50s and particularly the 60s, and every time they don't have solid franchise agreements, things like Suzuki America happen. Your viewers can look that up.
Yeah, yeah.
What a franchise agreement is a contract. It says to every party, and here the two primary parties are the dealers and the manufacturers, these are your responsibilities. You must do these things or you will be sanctioned, you will be punished. Wow, that sounds great. But the poobahs in the industry, including Peter J. Legal, when I came hat in hand, well actually binder in hand, and said, Pete, look at the car guys did this to protect themselves from the end of the world. And he thought about it for years, and then he said no, because it would attract lawyers.
Serious.
Seriously.
Like there's not any lawyers now.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
but hang on. The automobile business, the dealers are way better today. I mean, infinitely better
and
today.
if they do bad things, they are crushed.
And that's why when you take your truck in to get the oil changed, to have service work done on it, how was everything? You get a review, and they get paid bonuses based upon their ratings.
Well, bonus is one way of putting it, but there's financial incentives both directions between the manufacturer and the dealer.
They want you happy. There's nothing like that.
But in those franchise agreements are morals clauses. Most people that follow sports know about morals clauses. Yeah. There's morals clauses that say if you do this, this, and this, you can be subject to penalties, including the death penalty. What's the death penalty? Total cancellation. We take your franchise away from you. You can't sell these anymore. That happened in my lifetime 15 years ago. The oldest Chevrolet dealer west of the Mississippi got the death penalty from General Motors because they were treating their customers badly, very badly.
And don't we in the RV industry, don't consumers, couldn't they benefit from having franchise agreements, or is the genie out of the bottle? You can't.
The genie's out of the bottle, but. Now, what are we going through right now?
I love it.
Right now, we're going through a really, really, really bad depression. This is the worst depression in the RV industry. It was defined as a depression by the academics in September of 2024. So this is bad. Now, when times are bad, The manufacturer should have the juice to say to the dealers, you want to keep selling our product, you're not really keeping up with our targets and our contracts. Some of them have really specific contracts you got to take or pay, you know. So in recognition of the hard times, we think maybe we'll relax those standards that you signed up for if you'll agree to the terms of a franchise agreement patterned on the automobile industry. So the time is possible right now. And if it doesn't happen that way, there are moves in the various legislatures. You're aware of what's going on in the Texas legislature, where there are moves afoot. The legislature says all this nastiness is clogging up our courts, and it's an inconvenience for our attorney general too. So why don't we get some rules in place so that everybody knows what their responsibilities are? So there is pressure for the adoption of franchise agreements, but we're really old. We might not ever see them.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought you were going to say. That's pretty much what I was anticipating. In my view, there are some bad manufacturers, but there are a lot of bad dealers.
The dealers aren't prepping their stuff.
Lazy thieves that don't PDI the RV. They lie. They just simply lie, and it's okay. And they get by with it.
And they blame everything on the manufacturer, no matter who's responsible.
Or the consumer.
Well, yeah, that too. But usually that's later after the consumer's frustrated to tears. So look at, your listeners should know my self-interest here. I want you to come by from Cheyenne because we do all the right stuff. And there's other dealers that do all the right stuff too. We're going to prep it. We're going to make it clean. We're going to make sure that you don't have any hassles. And if you're missing a table leg, you're not going to have to wait 4.5 months to get one.
Give me, so the viewers can get an example of how you've seen or you see dealers just dropping the ball, just not doing what they're supposed to do. They get away with it.
The rig comes in from the factory. It came in 11 months ago. It hasn't been washed. Here's the keys. You just signed the contract in the office. Have fun. That's what they do. They've never looked at it to see if there's any faults or flaws from the factory. They've never checked to see if there's missing components. They've never checked to see if somebody used the toilet while it was on the lot for these 11 months. They've done nothing to it. Oh, but I paid $1,100 to have a walkthrough. Yeah, come on. I'll show you everything. Well, that was never a walkthrough. That was just 5 minutes of you talking. That's a walkthrough. And then they take it home and nothing works. And then they call up and then they get a service appointment for 2 weeks from now. And then they get a call or a text in 2 months saying we're still waiting for parts. Does that sound like customer service? Because it's not. It's you wear the customer out, they become frustrated, they either fix it themselves or just
they live with it. They just live with it.
Well, when we take trades in, if it was originally sold by one of the chains, we anticipate it's never been prepped and nothing's ever been fixed on it since it was new. And that's almost universally the case. And these people all have not just regular warranties if it was a new one. They paid really serious, crazy money.
For the extended?
Yeah, extended warranty that's above 8%, something's going on. And that would include remote service. No, they're paying 18, 20, 28, 38%. What the hell? But that's not even covered. And you cite examples of that every single broadcast.
I know.
And so,
but the dealer says, oh, we do a PDI.
Of course they do. They say that all the time.
They're not going to say, no, we don't do it. We hadn't even washed the damn thing. They're not going to say that. So what can a consumer, if I'm going to buy an RV, would I like somebody to come to Cheyenne, give you, as I say, an opportunity to argue? Hell yeah, I would. But if I'm going to buy from anybody, what do I need to do before I feel the pressure to go ahead and sign here and hook up? We'll see you later.
If today's video felt kind of like being jolted out of bed at 3 a.m., good. I say better now than 5 or 6 figures later. Today's big takeaway, never chase a payment. Chase and focus on the out-the-door price. Check references, do it. Demand a full demo of everything before signing. And if you can line up financing outside of the dealership, you'll likely get a better rate. Not always, but it is worth checking. Next time with Kevin, we're going to tackle the bigger fix, consumer protection, franchise-style standards, and What has to change? Meanwhile, make sure you scan the QR code you see on the screen or hit the link in the description down below for my free tools and RV dealer contacts, like Cheyenne Camping Center and other of America's most trusted RV dealers. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.